Okay, so here we are making our way into Basin. Once again, there are two different ways that we can actually do Basin. So Route B requires a little bit more as far as skip wise as opposed to what we did for Capital. Route B just required us to skip the door and that was it. There wasn't any more to it. It's really about it. Versus for Basin, because we're going to be skipping the cutscene here, it's going to actually change the way that we do certain things. So if you go through the cutscene, you have nothing to worry about. You can continue through the whole rest of the run. If you decide to go Route B, the animations for after defeating each eye will change, and you actually have to quit to the main menu, kind of like we did for Crater. So if you want to do Route B, go right over to watch that one. If you want to do Route A, it's far easier. It doesn't require you to quit the main menu, and we just pretty much gonna go right through. So we're gonna come up here, and if you climb up this sludge, you can kind of see that we can actually time slip grapple from here. So we don't have to do this walk up. See, we're locked in. We have to grapple. We don't have to do that. We can actually just climb right on this sludge and just jump and time slip straight to the door. So now with that, we have the door open. We just come right up here, and we are going to get a cutscene. We're going to see Sentry walking across. As soon as Sentry finishes his walk, we are going to regain control of Ray. Just like that. Go forward, triple jumping through this section to avoid the getting sniped, just like that. So you want to avoid that. I'm going to come right down here, and you'll want to avoid the one on the right as well. So now we want to come right over here. Now there is a checkpoint for those of you that want to practice this, especially if you're on console. There's a checkpoint here, but we want to come right over here to the right and make our way up the this window. There are a few different ways that you can do this. I'm going to show you the way that I think is the easier way. Brian has a tutorial for doing it the way that he does it that requires a little bit more experience, especially with triple jumping. So I'll just show you the quote unquote the easier way of doing it that I do it. So we want to double jump up to this window, triple jump up to this little arch above the door. And from here, kind of like right before this little shadow, right before Ray kind of starts, going down and sliding down, we want to triple jump around to this little sludge so we can mantle it. It's going to require practice, but you'll be able to get it. It's not as complicated as it seems. You also want to be able to save your third jump kind of like right before you make it there. So I'll show you what that looks like. So save, triple jump. See, we can use that third jump kind of like as we make it to these little windows here. And we can climb right up this backside, and Ray will automatically kind of like warp herself up. We want to jump across to here. Right when we're here, we want to triple jump up to where this ball is. Kind of mentioned earlier when we were going to the tree for the first little section at landing site, I mentioned that attacking can kind of help you mantle faster. Now, this may not be true. It was disproved, but it's just kind of like a nice peace of mind to be able to say, hey, if I attack, I'll mantle faster. So if I don't get this, then, I just didn't make the jump entirely. You can kind of see the crystals here. We just want to land right where those crystals are. But there's also an easier way of doing this as well. Pretty much landing on where this little beam is on this right side. You can't really see it, but I'll show you now. So if we triple jump from here, you can land here, right on the side, right here. And it'll make it far easier. If you cannot make the jump all the way across, you can land right on the window there. When I come around, and this is going to require a little bit of like some nice timing, but what we are going to do is we're going to jump, grapple. We want to fall beneath it. So you do not want to go too low. If you go too low, you won't be able to grapple anymore. But we want to fall beneath it on the back side of it so that we can come up here. So definitely practice that. Hit both grapples, fall beneath the very top one on the back side of it so that you can grapple across to the walkway. A nice way of being able to practice that is just pretty much grappling up. So you're going to use all that momentum and pull yourself up to be able to jump. So definitely practice it. It can be a little awkward, especially when you're first learning it. But I mean, that goes for most things throughout this entire run. As soon as we spawn in, after defeating the eye, we're going to make our way down here. We're going to go to the second eye. Using our movement. Come up these stairs. Hit this checkpoint. And we want to time slip, grapple straight to this. Climb up on this little boulder. And triple jump right over here. There's this like little piece of a ledge here. You can actually aim for that as well. But you can just triple jump right up here. This is going to require some timing. Because as soon as you touch this, it will kind of kick off, you know, the kill mode. I'm going to just say that. I'm blanking on a lot of, you know, names for everything right now. But once again, scuffed, just going over the routing. As soon as we activate this, we want to just dash up. And we're going to do another dash jump around this window, around these like ledges. And we're going to try to land at the top here so that we can make it to this first prong. If you can see where my mouse is kind of like going. So we're going to dash up, go around, and land somewhere up here. So I'll show you this. The timing can be a little scary. So we're dash, dash. The higher you go, the easier it will be. And we're going to land somewhere up here. There is a mantle here. I don't generally go for it. It's a little awkward, but it's kind of like right here. Little weird, kind of scary, but try to land up here if you can. As soon as you make it up here, attack this, hit this, grapple, eye is done. As soon as we load in, we're going to be able to grab a nice little momentum boost. If you're holding skate and you kind of hit this little slant, you see all this speed we get. We just want to come right through these bushes and make our way along the side of this wall and grapple up the side here. Right when we make it through here, that sniper on this back wall is going to immediately start aiming for us. We want to triple jump to this prong. Use that third jump to be able to grapple up to the prong that'll be here. So we hit this. Boom. Dash jump. Hit that. Grapple. Grapple. That's how you get that eye. So sorry if that looks very fast. I promise you, if you play through the game, you'll kind of understand the mechanics of the game and you'll be able to do that. So bear with me. Just take some practice and you get it. As soon as we spawn in, turn our camera around, have Ray come up here. There are two different ways you can do this. Not necessarily like a whole different routing, but there are two different ways you can do this. Come up to this checkpoint, and we can use the gravity manipulation from kind of being close to this wall. If we have our camera up, we'll be able to kind of like glide all the way across here. So show you that. See Ray kind of like flies through. I messed up there. I didn't triple jump. So it works better if you do triple jump so that you are able to just kind of have, you know, that jump. So triple jump just like that. See, I made it a lot further that time. So you can do that. You can use a gravity manipulation. There is another way as well. Just requires to land on these bushes down here that have a contact area on them, and we're going to slide right off, and it gives us this crazy nice little speed boost. Just like that. If you do get it better, you will actually be able to kind of like go through this entire little area. So we get our boost. You can make it up. and go right through this doorway to make it on the backside to start attacking. So we're just gonna go through. Time slip straight there. And now we have gotten the final eye. So I will not be going over the way of attacking Sentry because Sentry can be a little annoying. Sentry has major RNG as far as when it decides to attack you, because you need it to attack you to be able to start going through the motions of defeating it. So as soon as we spawn in, there's a checkpoint that you can grab here. So in order to make Sentry attack you once, so the first phase it will attack once and then immediately you can start grappling it. To make it attack you one time every single time versus, you know, the second phase it'll attack you twice, third phase it'll attack you 3 times. To stop that from happening, you want to sit directly under it. So it's a little weird, but if you stand under Sentry, so I'll try to show you that in a second, it will only attack once. Now going back towards RNG regarding this anomaly, it has 3 different locations it can go. This first one where it attacked me, towards that final eye that we attacked, and as well as this one here. So I didn't get underneath it to be able to make it attack faster, but you get the idea. Stand under it to make it attack faster. It has those 3 different locations. RNG goes based off of, it is not a set pattern of where it will go. So it can either come across to this bridge, it can go across there, it can go across there. There is no set pattern. It will randomly choose, and this can be a little unfortunate if you do not get good RNG, because it can dramatically cut down your time because of how long it takes for it to do its walking pattern. But other than that, you just want to go through this final phase, defeat Sentry, and we'll be able to move on to our next section of the game, which is Garden. Here we are, just defeating Sentry. As soon as it's done, once again, Echo's gonna open her hands. We're gonna be able to start moving. We're gonna skip right through it. Crush us. And we're going to spawn right next to Sid after we hit this little quick cutscene. We are waking up. We're going to skip the dialogue. And now we're going to make our way to Garden. This requires our first, I guess as far as things goes, major skip, because we are going to be skipping a pretty long cutscene. So as soon as we're done speaking to Sid, we're going to warp over to Capital. This is what you're going to have to do anyway as far as making your way into Garden. But we're gonna be skipping this door and a long little cloud trail that it's gonna shave off 30 seconds, if not a minute, off our time. I'm not the best at estimating how much time we're gonna be saving here, but I'll show you the 2 different ways of being able to make it over there. But yeah, here we go.